we're going to look at this Muslim factor again in West Bengal. Is there an anti-Muslim polarization in West Bengal? Now, interestingly, Brajesh, Ajit, there's, one-third of the seats that were won by the BJP in 2019 had a very sizable Muslim population. Is there going to be an impact of the CAA in 2024?
Yes, because you see what you pointed out right now. It's precisely in the Muslim majority areas of the north where the BJP sweeps. What happens is, the moment Trinamool increases the polarization in favor of the Muslim, the non-Muslims unite, and where will they go? They go to the BJP. Many of them are not hardcore BJP voters. Many of them are simply upper class Bengali Bhadralok who have gone through the partition, remember. Bengal was, at one time part of the Bangladesh. So their families have been hurt, just like the Punjabi families in Punjab and Haryana, who came from the other side. So this is a long sentiment. In fact, in Bengal, the local Bengali Hindu population is called Ghoti. And those Hindu population that comes from Bengal are called Bangal. Even their accent is different. You can make out from the way they speak Bengali who is a Ghoti, who is a Bangal.
That's right.
So what happened is, you'll find in North Bengal, Kuch Bihar area, Malda, that entire area, Siliguri, even including areas like Darjeeling, where Ahluwalia used to win at one time. Gorkhaland, that's again also anti-Trinamool. In that entire area, you find north, the BJP swept. In South Bengal, where Mamta has her bastion of Trinamool, that's where you find Trinamool doing very well. So yes, the polarization is, I would argue, hurting Mamta rather than helping Mamta.
Is polarization hurting Mamta or helping Mamta, Brajesh?
See, any kind of polarization will help the party, will hurt somebody who wants to get the vote of minority community lock, stock and barrel. We were discussing this in the case of Uttar Pradesh. One of the key factor which will be analyzed post-election is, Sandeep, that this time Muslims in Uttar Pradesh, they have not created any kind of fuss. They have not made any single statement which can be called inflammatory, which can be used, twisted out of context and be utilized in generating a consolidation versus counter consolidation. In West Bengal also, but West Bengal, the BJP has been pretty aggressive about one thing, that they have been going after, in the Sandesh Khali area, they have been going after the names of Shah Jahan Sheikh and saying that, how these people are robbing Hindu families and Hindu women of their dignity. The BJP wants that to happen, because counter consolidation always helps BJP, and that is the reason why they are very aggressive when they feel that the situation has come, or they can utilize a given situation to help in achieving that thing.
Absolutely. And we finally come to the final segment, which is the women voters of West Bengal. Now, both Prime Minister Modi and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee are a hit with the women voters. But when we look at the numbers, we see that in the 2021 assembly elections, the TMC got a whopping 13% more women voters than the BJP. But Ajit Kumar Jha, you had a different take on this. The numbers in 2019 and 2021. Explain to us where the women are voting in West Bengal.
No, the TMC did not have, as pointed out, a 13% advantage. That is a function of the fact that Trinamool is getting more votes, simply. So both men voters, women voters. But if you compare the male voters and the female voters, what we call the gender gap, there we find that Trinamool has about 5 or 6% now. So if you look at it, you will see that the women, about 6-7% more women vote TMC compared to their men supporters. Whereas in the case of BJP, it's reverse. About 3%, 4% more men vote compared to their women for the BJP. Now, a gender gap of 6-7% in India is considered extraordinarily high. Because if you look across the country, you find the gender gap is usually of 2 or 3%. Only during extraordinary elections, you get such a big gender gap. One reason, I think, for the gender gap in favor of Trinamool in Bengal is the fact that you have a woman chief minister.
Yes, of
and
course.
Many of her colleagues, all around her, she's surrounded by women, some of them very articulate in English, who get into trouble in parliament. And there are others.
And they're not there this time around.
But she's contesting this time around.
Yes. But Brajesh, very quickly, two words that I've been told that are going to really swing the tide for the TMC in West Bengal, Lakshmir Bhandar. Tell us why this scheme is such a big hit in West Bengal.
Well, if you look at pan-India, not only West Bengal, it's not that only Narendra Modi, a Prime Minister, understood what Labharti scheme can get from you. One such state was Telangana.
Yes.
Where, when we went there and we asked people about, what this is Prime Minister is offering them, they would say, oh, but we have a better scheme right now here.
Right.
When you talk to people, then their Labharti was better than the central Labharti.
Right.
Exact same case.
So you have a state Labharti and you have a central Labharti.
And even in there, when you see people who are getting a better, rolled out Labharti scheme of their own state government, then, you don't fall prey for a slightly lesser thing.
Right.
And that is the reason why, Mamta Banerjee in 2021, when she was saying that they were very clear about one thing. When we went and spoke to them, they said like, you're talking of this Labharti, that Labharti. Please go to village, please go to small talukas and see what our Labharti scheme has done for them.
Right.
And their rollout of the dole
yes.
is pretty much as effective as the Prime Minister's dole or the BJP's dole as far as the state of Uttar Pradesh is concerned.
Right.
And that is the reason why they are not able to outwit the state government when it comes to doling rolling out dole for poll. It never helps them that much.
Right.
And the one more thing I would like to add, as what Ajit and you were discussing about why women vote more for Mamta. If you remember last time, when Prime Minister made that Didi oh Didi remark,
that's right.
It boomeranged badly
in 2021,
on the BJP.
Yes.
2021 assembly election,
right.
Boomeranged badly on the BJP. The reason is that she's a woman, she is a better connect with the women
yes.
voters of Bangladesh, and there's also a sense of dignity when you try to hit out at the women. It's always perceived that you are unnecessarily being
right.
too aggressive on somebody, and that was the mistake which BJP realized, albeit too late, that
right.
otherwise would have gotten them a better number of seats as far as assembly elections concerned.
Absolutely.
Just to add to what Brijesh is saying, similarly the attack on fish eating,
yes.
the attack on meat eating. You see,
right.
Bengal, even the Brahmins eat fish and meat, right?
Yes.
Almost all communities across Hindus eat meat and fish. During the Durga Puja, in the mandirs, the meat is actually, the goat is actually cut right in front of Durga and Kali. So
right.
if you heard Mamta's reply to the Prime Minister, she pointed out, you come to Bengal during Durga Puja
yes.
and I will cook fish for you and feed you.
Fish for you. But tell us about
and
the
also
Labharti
she played
scheme.
on, now she played on the new Bengali versus outsider.
Right.
So the BJP, she wants to show as a party of the outsider,
yes.
whereas we are the Bengali party.
Yes, but Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee has got in a lot of outsiders of her own.
Absolutely.
As candidates.
Absolutely. In the border areas,
yes.
Asansol,
right.
Shatrughan Sinha, at this age, he's almost going to 77, 78.
Yes.
He's been there for the last 5 years. Again, he has been repeated,
Yusuf
given the
Pathan.
ticket. Kirti Ajad has been
yes.
given ticket from the neighboring constituency of Durgapur, Bardhaman. So
2 cricketers and 1 film star.
Absolutely.
So they are the outsiders in the West Bengal thing. But Ajit, coming back to the point about the women voters, how have the state Labharti schemes made a big dent in in the BJP's attempt to woo the women voters in West Bengal? Like Brijesh was mentioning, state Labharti versus central Labharti, which is going to tip the balance in West Bengal?
The fact that Mamta is not only a woman herself, speaks Bengali to the local people, she can speak the language of the local people.
Right.
She has a whole cadre of women around her,
yes.
both at the top among the leadership. You see number of women MPs, both Lok Sabha, now also Rajya Sabha, who surround her. And when she goes at the ground level, there's a whole sort of team of women
right.
who go with her.
Right.
So that, I think, explains to the women voters much better. The fact that the BJP lacks
right.
a tall leader in Bengal who is also grounded very well.
Yes.
Some of the BJP leaders of Bengal, like let's say Shwapun Das Gupta,
right.
he speaks English, he studied abroad. These are very elite Baba Lok
right.
Bengali leaders. Most of their leadership comes from the High Court, comes from other places,
yes.
right? And these are too elite for in Bengal, the classification is Boro Lok and Choto Log.
Right.
That means upper class and lower classes.
So, Brijesh, where would you
Trinamool
bring
acts as the-
Suvendu Adhikari in Bada Log or Chota Log? They imported him from the TMC, lock, stock and barrel.
I think, you know, what is the biggest challenge for the BJP is going to be that they don't have a pan-West Bengal
Yes.
presence, a leader who has a pan-Bengal presence.
Right.
And the second thing is that in Bengal also they are dependent 80% on as the rest of the country, which is
Right.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Yes.
They are completely dependent on his charisma as to whether he is going to, you know, once again get the entire, you know, the boat sailed through and get them win either 18 or 22 as the BJP claim that this time they are going to win. But locally, you know, Shubhendu Adhikari and all are good fighters in the sense that, you know, that they keep the newspaper running and there's one attack, there's a counter attack
Right.
and all kind of, you know, the place is abuzz with narration and counter narration. But he doesn't have the stature of Mamta Banerjee. And you know, the thing is that the only two leaders who have been able to woo women voters without being a female themselves is, one is Nitish Kumar.
Yes.
You know, when he went there, he created a caste out of women.
Absolutely.
You know, coming from a Kurmi caste,
the
which
first
barely
time.
has. For the first time. And the second is
20
Prime
years
Minister Narendra Modi.
Yes.
You know, who said that, you know, about the Shauchalayas, about how the honor of women is related
Right.
to Shauchalayas, how, you know, we should make sure that, you know, talk about women, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, maximum emphasis of women voter.
Right.
But the only thing is that, you know, in majority of these states, like, you know, you have a Tejasvi Yadav versus Nitish Kumar or Lalu
Right.
Prasad Yadav and all. In Uttar Pradesh, you have a different gig
Yes.
going on, you know, you have own government.
Right.
In West Bengal, you have a male prime minister versus a female chief minister.
Yes.
And I think this is where, you know, the scales tips in the favor of Mamta Banerjee.
Right, and in fact,
if BJP has had a women leader at
Yes.
the top, I think
Yeah.
that
possibly that would have made a
In
difference in
Bengal,
West Bengal.
in
You think
Bengal
that
as-
they would be looking for a woman leader now, given the fact that Suvendu Adhikari may not have, you know, delivered to their promise? But look at these figures here, Ajit Kumar Jha. Tell us what you make of these. These are the women voters in West Bengal who voted for the Trinamool and those that voted for the BJP.
So just look at Trinamool. The difference between 42-48.
Right.
So 6% more women
Yes.
voted for Trinamool
Right.
than men.
Right.
Go back to 2019, 41-47.
Right.
It stayed 6%.
Yes.
So for 5 years, for 3 years, you see almost 6% women voted. Then what happened? Overall votes increased
Yes.
for the Trinamool. But yet you have 50% voting. That means 4% more than 46%.
Right.
So that means the gender gap in favor of Trinamool is much higher. Now let's look at BJP.
Yes.
It's 40-37. That means in 21, 3% less women are voting compared to men.
Right.
38-42. Again, 4% less women are voting compared to men.
So more men vote for the BJP
More
and
women
more
vote for
women
the
vote
Trinamool,
for the
if you want to
Trinamool. So
simplify
that
it.
is going to be the factor that could possibly decide the outcome of the Lok
And
Sabha
especially
elections
given
in
that
West
the women
Bengal.
turnout is very high. this
Absolutely, such high women turnout, and given the fact that there are a lot of, you know, the men are working outside the state and possibly unable to vote, and that the high women turnout would be something
That is the
would
reason why the BJP was so
concern the
heavily
BJP.
invested in Sandesh Khali, because,
Yes.
you know, it is about the Asmita,
Crime
Nari
against
Asmita,
women.
crime against women,
Absolutely.
and you know how they have been brutalized, how they have been
Yes.
vandalized, their houses being snatched away from them.
Right.
They were made to undergo unspeakable horrors and all. So
Yes.
that is the reason why, because, you know, they would want women voter to wean away from Mamta Banerjee, and
Right.
until that happens, she remains a very potent and formidable force.
Absolutely,
in
and that's the lessons here for the BJP from this, and of course we'll know that in a few days from now, and given the fact that the 1st of June is when West Bengal, one of the only 3 states that are seeing 7-phase polling, is going to decide the last 8 Lok Sabha seats, but of course the results are on the 4th of June, and with that we come to the end of this discussion of Final Countdown. Do tune in at 9 p.m. tomorrow for our show on the crucial election battleground of Maharashtra. Thanks for watching the Final Countdown.